Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 612. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning, happy Monday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. Reading is a conversation. All books talk, but a good book listens as well. Mark Haddon. And once again, good morning. Hope your Monday is off to a good start, everyone. And today I want to talk about why, as authors, and myself included, because you guys know I preach the things that I need to be reminded of constantly. So I want to talk about why, as authors, we don't create nearly enough content to promote our books and our author brands. And I'm bringing this up not only to motivate you, again, to remind myself that I can always do better. This is not meant to nag or shame us or anything bad. This is purely to challenge ourselves as authors to keep raising our personal bar, to keep getting our stories and messages out there to those who need to hear them the most. So I have identified three reasons, probably among many more reasons, but three reasons today why most of us are not creating as much content as we could be creating to promote our books and our author brands. Number one, writing books is a private, solitary, and often quite personal pursuit. This is why most authors likely classify themselves as introverted, private people. I'm sort of an ambivert, I think. That's mostly introverted, but in the right mood, I can definitely pull off a good extrovert. I don't even know if that grammatically makes sense. I can be extroverted in small doses. I can actually have fun while I'm doing it. But that doesn't take away from my original point that writing a book is a mostly introverted pursuit. Until we actually publish our book, we don't really need to involve other people in our work. Therefore, once the book is published and we're suddenly expected to talk about it to strangers with all this pride and enthusiasm, and we're supposed to be, authors, after just being alone for so long in that writing cave, that can feel like a jarring experience. Which is why, from my vantage point, I mostly see authors talk about their books for a little bit leading up to launch day, then probably more than they'd like to talk about it on launch day, maybe for like a week after, and then they kind of go dark again. I think they retreat to the safety of the writing cave to do what feels comfortable and familiar, write another book. But here's the thing. Even though you might well be sick of your book by launch day, keep in mind, because we've been working on it for a long time before then, keep in mind that your launch day is day one of your book's existence to the rest of the world. It's your book's birthday. I'm not asking you to change who you are, especially if you are truly an introvert, but if it is truly too painful or too time-consuming to continuously create the content that you need to keep the conversation going around your book, for the long term, please consider getting help to do so. It's very, very important. Also, a note about this, please don't confuse conversations with your potential readers with any kind of ickiness that you might have around words like sales or marketing. You are simply sharing the results of something you have worked really hard on, and probably for a very long time. You should be quite proud of your book. There's nothing icky about that. Talk to your readers because they definitely want to hear from you, especially if you've already gone to the trouble of writing a book for them. They want to know the person behind the book. That's literally all content is. So don't be put off by phrases like content marketing and sales and marketing and all that. Content is conversation, period. And the second reason I see that authors, in my opinion, don't create enough content, including myself, is that they feel overwhelmed with the idea and simply don't know where to start. Well, you probably had a strategy when it came to writing your book, right? So now it's just a matter of having a strategy when it comes to promoting it, when it comes to creating that conversation, the content, that conversation around your book. So I'm going to drop a link in the show notes today to a blog post I wrote, taking you step by step through my content launch strategy for authors And in case you need some more support, I will also drop a link to a content challenge workbook, a 10-day content challenge that I've also created for you. Hopefully one or both of these resources can help move you out of any sort of content overwhelm or content strategy overwhelm and get you moving forward. And number 3, finally, the third big reason I see that authors don't create enough content about their books is shocking, right? It's not a habit. Oh, it's amazing how frequently that word comes up on the show, right? But really, I know personally that if I have any expectation of getting anything actually done on a regular basis, whether that means daily or weekly or whatever, I have to go through the process of making it a habit. That process of creating a habit could be a whole episode unto itself. So I'm just going to remind you to get a copy of my favorite habits book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. But, with something like remembering to have a continuous ongoing conversation with your readers and your future readers, i.e., creating content, it's so important to me that it's on a habits app that I have on my phone to make sure I don't forget to do it. I don't know about you, but I'm so the person who gets great joy out of checking off things from a to-do list. You guys get that too? I know for many, the to-do list is outdated productivity technology, but I will admit, on days when I feel like I haven't gotten anything done, after I do something, I will actually add it to the to-do list so I can cross it off. Yeah, that's a really dorky confession right there. Let me know if anybody else does that. But if you're just, those days when you're in a funk where you're like, I don't even know why I woke up today. I don't know what's happening. If I end up doing something, I'll just put it on the to-do list to check it off, to be like, check, I did something. So I don't know. Maybe I need a support group for people who are hyperactive about habits, but I digress. I hope that the 3 things today have given you some inspiration to remember to talk to your readers about that book you worked on so long and so hard. You were writing that book for so long. So hopefully to recap those 3 things today. Number 1, don't confuse content with anything like sales, marketing, whatever. Content is conversation. So have that conversation with your reader. Number 2, make sure you have a strategy, just like you had a strategy for writing your book. And again, check the show notes today for some helpful links that I'm going to post to help get you going with your strategy. And number 3, create content. Make sure creating content is a habit. If you need to put it on a habits app or a things to do list, however you do your habits, however you keep yourself accountable to your habits every day, make sure that your author content is on that list. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And please drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for even more accountability and support author resources. And of course, that link goes in the show notes every day too. Until tomorrow, happy writing.